Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Repentance, baby. The YouTube streak and the Twitch streak are in two different positions. I mean, like, we got the one number encapsulating them both, but we've been crushing the game on YouTube lately. We've been crushing the game. I shouldn't say I hate to be this guy, because I think I actually like to be this guy. But I feel like we should try to do more true ending stuff. And the reasoning for me wanting to do more true ending stuff is because we're kind of on that wave right now, you know? Like, I'm not suggesting necessarily that, like, oh, you know, if I were to pivot and start doing other stuff, then I'd be more likely to maybe, like, forget that we have to go to the alt path because I'd be on the muscle memory from the true ending, and then I forget to take the Polaroid back when the Polaroid was a trinket, and I mean, so obviously it's exactly what I'm suggesting, just for the record. Did you see that, by the way? I'm not asking for thanks or, like, adoration, but perhaps Nobel Prize in video game innovation. Okay. Okay. Ah, it's the first floor. If I can't figure out where to go on the first floor, it's time for there to be permanent sat-nav installed in my brain. Elon, I am ready for the Neuralink. I will be a beta tester and an alpha beater. I don't know what that means. It just sounded the little cellar door in my brain. Okay. So I'm thinking, you know, we're trying to do alt path stuff, or true ending stuff. What if we went freaking loco, dude, and we, like, walked on this, right? Obviously, you gotta play it, like, 7 times to actually get the advantage out of it. Why, dude, my guy's so angry. Look at him. But even, you know, playing it once, you could maybe get literally nothing at all, but in the future, consumables, if we get more red... Look, it was just fun, okay? It was just... Really, you know what it was? Is it was a test to see if it would take our bone heart. I didn't think it would. There's no mathematically sensible reason for why it would, but that being said, you never know, right? I think we're just gonna head down. No reason to go too hard on that sacrifice room right now. How am I doing? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It's, you know, approaching midday on a Sunday here. Just needed one more Isaac episode to make up the difference and you know, keep that Iron Man streak going. Having a good weekend so far. Pretty low-key. Like, the last 2 weekends, I mean, the last 70 weekends, really, but the last 2 weekends in particular have been pretty low-key. Last weekend, I got my first dose. This weekend, my wife got her first dose, so, you know, just took her... Oh, I shouldn't have taken the Eternal Heart on you, but that's okay. Just, you know, took her to the clinic. Everything's cool. She's letting me know how much of a coward and a baby I am for the fact that I, you know, had reasonable symptoms from the first dose, and she's, like, right now doing overhead shoulder presses upstairs and pull-ups and stuff like that. That's not really the case. She's not rubbing it in, and also she's not doing overhead presses. She's doing other Herculean efforts, mostly related to, you know, raising the baby and nursing and so on and so forth. But that's about it. Not really getting up to too much else. That being said, you might say anecdoteless again. Sag, Pepe hands. I got an anecdote for you. Disney says, hey, we're coming out with Black Widow, okay? It's gonna be $30 on Disney Plus. I say to myself, you know what? While theaters are still closed in Canada, and until we get maybe our second dose and feel a little bit more comfortable going outside, $30, hey, if we went to the movies, you know, we gotta drive there, we gotta pay for couple hours of parking, we would probably eat dinner out as a result of being there in the first place. The movie tickets will be, you know, $14 Canadian each or something like that. You buy snacks, that's maybe like another $10 a person or something like that. Hey, $30 starts to not seem that bad. I say to myself, you know, based on the... I have no, you know, interest necessarily in the character arc of Black Widow, but the Marvel stuff has been largely good, and I have to admit that the trailer for Black Widow, I was like pretty skeptical, like maybe this would be the start of the nadir of my Marvel interest, and then the trailer kind of brought me back. I was like, I think they did a great job on this trailer. It's got me feeling somewhat compelled. Hold on. Yeah. This is how we do it. It's Friday night. I feel all right, and the party is definitely here on the west side. We did lose the Eternal Heart as a result, but that's fine. Oh no, we didn't. It stayed in reserve. Look at that. That's amazing. So basically, I'm highlighting, I suppose, at this point, my own double standard, because, you know, that movie Cruella came out. I've never been much of a Dalmatian head to begin with. I've seen 101 Dalmatians. I think I probably even saw 102 Dalmatians as a kid. I was of the right age, and then I saw the live-action Glenn Close, 101 Dalmatians. But still, dude, we're Vision. Look at that. I've never been much of a Dalmatian head, but I said, you know, I saw that little spoilerific scene on Twitter, and I said, this looks like my own unique brand of strangeness. Not that I thought it would be really that far up my alley, but I was like, to some extent, when I saw some of the spoilers, I was like, I gotta know how they do this. It just seems insane. I go to Disney Plus, the average Disney Plus enjoyer, and it says now available with Premier Access. I say, do I not have Premier Access? I'm pretty sure I've been a subscriber since like day one. And then I go click on it, and it says, you want to watch this? It'll be $35 Canadian. And I audibly, I gasped and I broke down into tears and said, why? Why, Disney? Why? Please talk to me. You're tearing me apart, Disney. Maybe I don't get it, okay? It's possible. I mean, I am reaching the age where I think you start to get out of touch. I'll have you know, though, while driving my wife back from the vaccine, she said, hey, can we stop by McDonald's? They recently released a BTS meal. As much as I get accused of being a boomer, you might have thought I'd be like, well, if McDonald's really wants to impress me, they should get a Rush burger. They should get a Neil Peart burger with some Geddy Lee French fries. No, I was like, oh, that's cool, you know? They did the Travis Scott thing last year, and just in general, you know, I'm not a K-pop stan, and I don't really listen to it, but, you know, that's because I'm in my own, like, music bubble to begin with. I think it's super cool that there's, like, a genre of quote-unquote world music that's getting, like, legitimately insanely popular in North America and worldwide, instead of just, like, you know, previously it used to be, like, you know, people would be like, oh, I like any kind of music, just name some. You'd be like, okay, can you name, like, a single band that's not from a predominantly English-speaking country? And they'd be like, maybe they might be like Eiffel 65. And you're like, okay, they're Italian, they do sing in English, but I'll give it to you, I guess. But, you know, I think it's cool that we're moving on from that. But, you know, I kind of accept that you get out of touch to some extent as you get older. It's just kind of a natural progression, but if you're asking me if I'm pro or anti BTS meal, I'm pro BTS meal, you know? First off, is fast food. It's not that serious. It's not like, you know, we gave them the choice of, like, you know, where the EPA budget is going or something like that. Like, it's literally just like fried pieces of mechanically separated chicken breast. But on top of that, cool sauces, man. I thought that sweet chili sauce was pretty legit. Anyway, if anything, I think I said this before, but I feel like they kind of did BTS a little dirty by just being like, the BTS meal is just like, hey, it's a normal 10-piece chicken McNugget with a couple of sauces on it. You know, I thought maybe they could have at least given them, like, hey, if you order the BTS meal, we'll give you like an 11th nugget or something like that. But I digress, okay? I digress. Maybe it's possible that there's an insane market for, you know, Cruella de Vil type stuff out there. I would be surprised that, you know, rarely do I hear people talk about you know, 101 Dalmatians outside of the context of, hey, I recently watched 101 Dalmatians, and it was alright. But, you know, for the Marvel stuff, I'm almost offended, I guess, on, like, as a consumer. The Marvel stuff, I'm like, I kind of get it. You know, those movies are making a staggering amount of money at the box office. You know, they've created a franchise that has, you know, made the most profitable films at the box office for, like, you know, a decade running. Maybe not profitable, but highest grossing. But Cruella is about a lady who, she wants to make a coat out of dogs. Like, did we really need a gritty backstory? But then, the second aspect, that was a good trinket, I think. The secondary aspect on that was not even like, does she need a gritty backstory? Because, you know, I respect Emma Stone as an actress. I do. It's more like, you really want me to pay $9.99 a month and $35 to watch Cruella? I really thought that would be one of the ones that you'd kind of like... You know, like, back in the day, you might, like, subscribe to the Columbia Record Club. They'll send you, like, a free album that doesn't do numbers. In order, as like, a sweetener to get you to join the pool. I kind of thought that's what it would be like. I kind of thought it would be like, and Cruella, you know, free for Disney Plus subscribers to hold you over until Loki comes out. But again, I'm coming at it with my own, you know, 35-year-old... I'm not 35, but I think that way sometimes. My own 35-year-old, you know, bearded bias. I may be not aware of the fact that there's a large Cruella-based fandom out there. It wouldn't be the first time. Okay, don't take that yet. By the way, we're having a pretty good run here. That's horrible. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a huge problem. We just lost, like, 3 Spirit Hearts to check it, but... It's an insult that it exists, let's put it that way. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Cruella, yeah. I was like, Disney, the audacity, okay? Like, look... That would be like Netflix, you know, charging for Marriage or Mortgage or something like that. Like, if Netflix was like, hey, if you want to get access to the Queen's Gambit, that'll be like another $4 or something like that. I'm not saying I would do it. There would be a lot of, like, you know, hemming and hawing over, like, what does this mean? Like, is the Netflix model dead or something like that? But then you'd be like, at least it's like, you know, it's the Queen's Gambit. If they started charging you, you know, $35 to access a season of Marriage or Mortgage, you'd be like, really? That's you. Come on. I'm still kind of struck by it. You want me to pay $35 to watch Cruella? This is the last straw. Effective immediately upon Loki finishing. If you don't release another good show within 6 months, I will consider canceling my subscription. You have been put on notice. Okay, if you'll excuse me, I'm trying to blow this up. I don't want to lose these bone hearts, if possible. Owned. It would be fun, but also probably kind of not as strong. Oh, I don't want to lose it! If we got such... I'm gonna lose it. I literally... Like, there was no reason for me to not swap. In fact, it probably even would have been faster. Okay, you know, it's just... you learn lessons in this game. Anyway, what I was gonna say is it would be fun to have such a high luck stat that we only got punch bones. That was very lucky. That being said, I don't know if it'd actually be that big of a positive for us. It would be funny, though. I do love the sound of it going thwack. And this should be fine. I'm like, the Forgotten... There's a case to be made for certain that the Forgotten is actually, like, one of the easiest characters in the game. The only downside... I mean, one way to look at this is that, like, this is a character that's really, like, all the pluses of Jacob and Esau and, like, none of the negatives. The pluses are, like, a dynamic health bar that you can swap between. And the minuses are, the negatives, I should say, are, like, literally, I don't know, your range is kind of bad. Your mobility maybe could be like a little better. I don't know why. That was like a beautiful sentence. Your mobility could be maybe, I don't know, a little better. Your mobility could be maybe, I don't know, a little better. Dude, there's something about... everyone's like, that's not that good. Bro, if Father John Misty sang that, you would be like... You'd put that in your freaking WhatsApp profile. I have no concept of how WhatsApp works, or if you have a profile. Which one? Snapchat is the one where you... The comedian Chris D'Elia, he thought you couldn't take screenshots of it, but then it turns out you could, and he had that Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. What's WhatsApp? Remember when I said I was out of touch? Are WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger the same thing? Or do they just get brought up in conjunction a lot? I don't know. This is a good time to point out if you ever get a message on WhatsApp from someone who claims to be me. Just point them to this conversation and say, please maybe try a little bit more of a social media savvy YouTuber. If there's any social media network I'm eyeing up, it's LinkedIn. Maybe I could start to work on LinkedIn. I don't think it's not necessary for my current line of work, but it does seem the most boomer core. Who knows, dude? I laugh at LinkedIn memes sometimes. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I have friends that work real jobs, so to speak, that are basically necessitated to have a LinkedIn protocol or a profile so that they can, advertise themselves to recruiters and stuff like that. And I'm not even like being slightly negative. I get it, right? Like you gotta advertise yourself so that you don't end up just getting exploited by one company for your entire life, and then when that company goes out of business, they're like, oh, by the way, we gave your pension to the boss, sorry. You gotta sell yourself. I get it. But they tell me that people are wilding out on LinkedIn. Like, I remember talking about, it might still be like this, but ESPN, the American Sport Network, used to have, and may still have, comments that are connected to people's Facebook accounts. And their Facebook account typically is their real name. Sometimes it'll be like a statue of a Greek philosopher, and their name will be like the only real thinker or something like that. But for the most part, it'll be like, because they're using that for their own social life and stuff like that. So, and I always thought that was kind of like the end game for social media. I thought like you would never see people being insanely toxic under their real identity, because we've always been told, and it makes just normal sense. Luck build. It just makes coherent sense, right? Like it sounds intuitive that people are going to be ruder when they're I was trying to see who Death's List could target there. When their identity is unknown. And I do think that's still true. But where we got it wrong with that line of thinking back in the day was thinking that if people were non-anonymous, that they would be nice. That's not the case. They're definitely, I'm not saying everybody, but like people will still be toxic under their real identity, sometimes proudly. Let's just gamble. Or not gamble, but donate. Quite the opposite, I guess. Let's gamble on the goodwill of others. I don't think people are as toxic. Like some of the stuff that people would say, in these comments under their real identity, I'm sure if they were using a pseudonym, it would be much worse. That being said, you'd see stuff like a dude would get absolutely brutally hit in the NFL, and doctors would be like, yeah, he's got a concussion, he might not play next week. People would legitimately like, hey, my name's Ben Smith, and here's my job, here's my place of work, here's the car that I drive, here's my dog. Here's Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes urinating on a car brand that I don't own. And it would be like, I think these guys are big babies. If I was getting paid, $750,000 a year, I would just die. I would just die and be happy for the right to do so. And you're like, man, that's crazy. And then I really thought that was going to be like, you know, the end of that. But then, you know, people like Josh, for example, they tell me on LinkedIn, people are wilding out. People are posting their Facebook stuff on LinkedIn. I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm a genius. I'm stupid. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not on these platforms. That was a waste of my time. I'm basically I'm a Twitter only sort of lad right now. I think we don't need to save telepills because we actually don't want to telepills out of our boss fight here and possibly find ourselves on an error room where we wouldn't be able to do true ending. This run, by the way, is like, it's bad, but the Forgotten is good. I think it will be interesting to see if we can make that work for us. Like, this run, it really doesn't have that much. It's got some stuff, but it doesn't have that much going for it that you would consider to be, like, you know, a huge reason for easy success. Oh! It's basically the fact that the Forgotten's bone is just really strong. Now, that can get you somewhere, don't get me wrong. Devil card? I mean, we're probably not going to use telepills. Even to use a devil card, okay, I'm actually gonna make a... That was a damage upgrade from Death's List, by the way. I'm actually gonna make a very calculated gamble that this won't give us an error room. And this could be photos taken moments before disaster. If it is, I acknowledge the hilarity inherent there. The idea here, though, is by fighting the boss, we would get access to boss rush. I am realizing now that is not the case, so I'm bailing. I'm bailing right now. Why? We weren't gonna beat the boss in under 10 seconds, and I probably, my take on it was I was about to lose even more HP trying to finesse the rush. So you can only hold 6 and 6. Like, I'm not trying to stack up an infinite amount of HP, but that was also, like, I think you were dead. You were dead when you shot that. Prove to me that you weren't. High Priestess, just speed me up here a little bit. Speed me up, Scotty. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this one now. Oh, or am I? You wouldn't. They wouldn't, right? Like, they're gonna give me an exit. I'm gonna come out of here fine. I'm not gonna get soft locked. Then again, I am like, is this even gonna work for us? Because typically, Mom's Heart doesn't even drop any loot. So I do have myself thinking a little bit that maybe we're just gonna fight here for no benefit of our own. But it is what it is. I'm telling you, man, like, if we could have somehow gotten the perfection trinket on this run, all tooth plus like all punch would have been interesting. Imagine getting hit with a tooth so hard it knocks your tooth out. By the way, if you ever want to, like, lose your mind, I also, like, I'm not a scholar of internet toxicity, and I do feel the need to point out, for once I'm not talking about it as, like, a woe is me sort of thing. It's more just, like, an interesting thing to kind of observe online, is the anger economy, and how, like... Okay, we did get something, at least. Not bad, not bad. How much of, you know, over time, and I hope that it does reverse at some point. I don't know what would do it, but how over time, like, increasingly the way that you farm engagement on social media platforms is to just either lie or be upset at everything. And I don't just mean, like, upset, like, you know, what people would say, like, cancel culture or something like that. I mean literally upset over, like, you know, even civic politics, to the extent of, like, you know, they're gonna change the name of my street from, you know, Bill Street to, you know, Bob Street. Are you crazy? I'm gonna filibuster. Like, My other, you know, there's several factors, IMO, for things that increase toxicity or things that are associated or correlated with a risk in or a rise in toxicity. One of them is like real identity. If you use your real identity, you're likely to be a little less toxic. Another one is actually like, I really feel like as the scope of the issue gets smaller, toxicity rises. As strange as that sounds, some of the most unhinged comments you will ever see are in like nothing stories on social media channels for like little local newspapers. They'll be like, a puppy was rescued from a tree the other day. Firemen say he's a hero, you know? And then people will be like, don't let Justin Trudeau see this, or he'll have that dog in Guantanamo Bay. And you're just like, Bob, CEO at School of Hard Knocks, source dude, just trust me. What the hell are you talking about? It's a dog that got rescued from a little tree, man. And you're going like, wow, don't let other people would really get offended by this story if they say. And I'm like, bro, you're other people, clearly. You're the other person in this one, you weirdo. You're the one making it. You're the one doing the non sequitur. Anyway, show me the lie, though. Where's the lie, Drake? I don't know the meme, by the way. I just know one of them goes, where's the blank, Drake? And I don't know if it's actually Drake or Josh. And then he goes, where's the blank, Drake? And then all I know is you say it, the Zoomers laugh. Bottoms up and the Zoomers laugh. They might be laughing at me, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'll take it. Doctor's remote. This run just wants me to die, huh? That's just its thing? I think my myostosis is what we're gonna call it from now on. I think it's pretty good. I'm happy to take it. The only thing I'm unhappy with on this run is that, like, I mean, I think we've literally had 2 damage upgrades. One of them is Eye of Belial, which forces us to take a damage downgrade just to use the character for whom it's a damage upgrade. And then the other one, let's go. That's potentially really big, actually. The other one is something we farmed off of Death's List. We need to find the Tainted Skull, by the way. Okay, hold on. Don't forget the skull. I mean, maybe I should forget the skull? Because I'm pretty sure that if I go down to the true ending, like this feels like a recipe for dying. I've been wrong before. It's been known to happen. You love to be in a position where if you're wrong, you win the run, right? It's like a little counterbalanced risk. I'll take it. Okay, we love it. We don't love it. Why would you get so close? Yeah, there you go. Just smack him about a little. Look at that. No problem. Now, Tainted Skull. I mean, we are kind of in a... Oh, a placenta. Thank you. I think we are kind of in a position now where it's like we really can't do anything else. Like, this character, we just need to try. We've been doing a lot better against, what are you again? Oh, Coupon, that's right. What are you? Lockdown. Insulting. We've been doing a lot better on the true ending stuff lately, don't get me wrong. But I feel like this run is a little bit bad. To put it nicely. Probably like a pretty easy ride. I was hoping we get stats, but that's okay. Ooh. Leave like this, it's fine. Yeah, this is not one where I would say we're very optimistic, but miracles can happen. I mean, I think on many of our recent runs, we basically just encountered a situation where we accidentally won the run, more or less because we got something incredible on the trip back home. So, oh no, they just reset it. Where's this skull, dude? Where's the skull? Where's the skull, Josh? Where's the skull, Drake? I don't know. Where's the skull? Oh, it's over there. Where? Oh, it's right here. Okay, never mind. Okay. And we can't even rely on anything from the Fool card. Because, like, or from the negative or the Polaroid. Because it's just, you know, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're chilling. I say that just to remind myself, you know? We just want to stay low pulse rate. Keep breathing. Take out the enemies in a reasonable time frame. I mean, I hate to say it as if this is like mission critical, but would be ideal not to lose the 9% chance of a deal with the devil. 9%'s not that special until you hit it, you know? Happens all the time. Unlikely things happen every day. That hurt, but you know what? Now that we've lasted long enough that we can now pivot to this. That's okay. Didn't get it. Life goes on. Got our HP back. Literally matters not what we take. Get out of here. I'm not exactly thrilled about our mausoleum chance. Oh, dude, myostosis. Mitosis. I'm gonna sell my house in town. Myostosis. I'm gonna sell my house in town. Show me the shiny of Japan. Okay. Myostosis. We're gonna do this, man. It's the power of positive thinking. Ah! Okay, I'm sorry. That was way too loud. Oh, there's a fool's gold. Yeah, oh, 3 cents. Here's a quarter. Call somebody who cares. Because it's not me. I can't kill you first. It's not possible. Funny joke. Okay, it's all falling apart. What do we need to do? Frickin' chill out, for one. That's a gimme. I think we should embrace the fact, quite honestly, that our normal, like, method of being the bony is not really that important here. It's not really that valuable. Huge. Because our bony's not that strong. I think we're way better off, you know, being the bony when the time is right, when the mood strikes, and all that. But also embracing, whatever, just pop it, man. Embracing the fact that the spirit is probably a little stronger for us right now, or maybe like forever. If you could go first, I think I've ruined Deathless. So you don't have to kill that one first, you know? I gotta remind myself, you don't have to kill that one first. I'm trapped. I can't see. I'm trapped in Game Boy Advance land. I am trying to farm Death's List, and it's like, it's a bit spicy, but at the same time, like, it gave us luck. Luck is like a it's a positive feedback loop. Yes, I forgot the word. It's not really like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm trying to think of what the word is. The more of it you get, the more of it you get. I think positive feedback loop is the perfect descriptor, to be honest. And now I'm realizing, wait, I'm stupid. Boney's totally the way to go. By the way, Dice Room would be huge. We will very likely lose this run. Well, okay, it's not that big. But I was going to say, we're very likely going to lose this run if we don't reroll. So if we could reroll, that matters. It's the kind of thing that matters. This is not damage I should be taking, but I do like that we can keep the Spirit Hearts rolling floor to floor. Thank you. This is something, you know, every once in a while you gotta take a calculated risk. And this is a slight, especially with placenta, is a slight calculated risk. No question, but something like synth oil, you know, if we find ourselves winning, and literally, like, we win by one hit, let's say, synth oil is genuinely the sort of thing where we should look at that and go, that's what did it. You see this? All Garfield. Fully furnished. All synth oil. Owns. Okay. I don't want to fight you yet. We still have an item room, we still have a shop. And we have a 4 room which could reroll your crappy item room and shops. We should have maybe taken the opportunity to go to the boss trap room. Oh, God, this is never gonna work. Come on. What the? Oh, maybe it's totally gonna work, actually. Because they factored death's list. Nope, okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. I just don't get it. Owns? Owns? Come here. Thank you. Owns? Owns? We need more. Dude, how good would an amazing pill rotation have been for us on this run? It would have changed everything. Instead, our pill rotation is like garbage, recycling, and compost. Okay. The mulligan. Dude, I'm getting lit up on Twitter today, by the way. Maybe this is what brought on the discussion on toxicity. Everyone's making jokes about how Matt LeBlanc looks like their Irish uncle or Scottish uncle. Matt LeBlanc looks like me dad when me ma. This is verbatim. I'm not trying to cause problems. When he done know what me ma got me for Christmas, but he wants to support me anyway, you know? And then, like, I just thought it'd be fun to riff on that. So I tweeted, everyone's talking about how Matt LeBlanc looks like an Irish uncle. I feel like I'm crazy because I see him just as a dead ringer for an older Joey Tribbiani from Friends. It's been like, I've been put through the ringer on that one, man. The tweet is not that funny. I'm not saying, like, where's my Netflix special? But, like, it's been getting tweet replies from people that don't follow me that are like, this is why, you know, everybody hates boomer humor or something like that. And then I look at their profile and it's just exclusively, you know, not safe for work cartoons, and then, like, Hassan. I'm not saying Hassan creates this kind of response. And moreover, I'm laughing about it. I'm not like, well, people on Twitter don't think my joke is funny. I'm just like, man, I didn't realize that not only was it not funny, it was, like, so unfunny that it needs to get dunked on by the funniest person in, like, the middle school lunchroom. Like, it's crazy, man. I'm getting torn up by the nation's, you know, Alpha generation, or whatever the heck the generation after Gen Z is. I can't remember. Yeah, that's right, Gen Z. There's a generation that comes after you. And just you wait for when they start. Does anybody else think, here's my impression of Zoomers. Oh, I care about every social cause. Oh, sorry, can't help you today. I don't know where I'm going with that. I apologize. But just enjoy. I'm just really, if anything, I'm not trying to create any drama with the Zoomers. I'm asking you to merely enjoy this period where you're, like, the youngest generation with any kind of influence, because it, like, to some extent, it's all downhill from there. Normally, there's a little uphill. That's what we were sold, is that, like, you know, hey, when you get older, like, you get a little bit more out of touch, people make fun of you, but on the other hand, you get an increasingly large share of the nation's wealth. I'm here to tell you that there's no guarantee of that, as you will see if you look at, like, millennial demographics. Did you know I saw something insane on Twitter? I was going to say Mark Wahlberg. Mark Zuckerberg is responsible, and everyone's going to be like, F Facebook. I agree. I couldn't agree more. But it's just a mind-boggling stat. Mark Zuckerberg is responsible for 2% of millennial wealth. That's crazy, man. And it's also crazy how he deserved it and worked really hard to get it. But and didn't do anything, you know, suspicious along the way. But that's crazy. He's like if you know, every 50th millennial basically is Mark Zuckerberg. Wait, that's not how that works. But you get the idea. If you took Mark Zuckerberg out of the millennial category, millennial wealth would be 2% lower. Which is kind of like, that's a big number when you consider that there's probably like, you know, 2 billion millennials or something. Anyway. I'm here to tell you, right now, it's all well and good. We're the youngest generation. Nobody even expects us to do anything. So we can criticize everybody and you know, not have to deal with any fallout. That's where we were at as millennials, man. We were like, dang, boomers and the greatest generation ruined the environment. We're gonna save everything. And then, you know, now it's been like, you know, 20 years or something like that, and even Gen Z is like, why haven't millennials saved the environment? And I'm like, you know, it's the classic millennial, my bone heart. The classic millennial meme is like, you know, millennials in the year 2000, strong Shiba Inu, we're gonna fix all of society's problems. Millennials getting criticized in the year 2021. But we graduated from college during the global financial crisis. Sad, bashful Shiba Inu. Anyway, you know, we don't need to get into this, you know, generation-based warfare or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, I used to be with it, and then they changed what it was, and what it is now seems scary and unfamiliar to me, and it'll happen to you too. I'm actually still pretty much like in tune with the. I mean, because I work in an industry where you have to have at least some awareness of what people under the age of like 25 are interested in, namely Imposter Among Us. I think I maintain like a certain. I feel like I occupy a unique space. Not like I'm one of a kind, but it's a little unique compared to, you know, some people at least. Where I desperately like want to become 45 years old and just grill and maybe like take up golfing or something like that. But I can't. Like anytime I find myself starting to get into that, I'm like, no, read Neuromancer by William Gibson. And I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's so hard for me not to be cool, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Please, I just want to work on my backswing. They won't let me. They're always like, oh, NL, how do you feel about, you know, air fryers? And I give my opinion, and they're like, based? WTF? Based? Did you see, by the way, how saved our Boneheart ended up being there? That is absurd. When did NL get so based? Oh, NL, you're so... Okay, you get the idea. Save it for LinkedIn, Grandpa. Okay, I love a Spirit Heart, don't get me wrong. I'm actually not that burned up about not having... it's Soul of Jacob and Esau. We use that instead of the Empress. We get another character for a... It's going to be very hard to control, don't get me wrong. We get another character for, like, until they die. I don't know when that'll be. Oh my god. Okay, we're not done. Give me one of those. I don't think that's enough, but it do be something. I can't believe we're still going on this one. I mean, this is like the classic kind of Repentance True Ending run. I've started to figure out there's like archetypical runs. This is one where I'm like, you know, this is your Isaac run where you just die. You face no existential threats until the very end of the game, and then at the very end of the game, it becomes extremely clear that you never had a chance the whole time. You're like, well, you know, we were doing just fine. I wouldn't say amazing, but we were doing just fine, and then, oh, now we're dead. Okay, sure. By the way, this guy, I fear no mortal man, but that thing scares me. Too much HP. All right, there's always the chance, by the way, Mom's Knife. There's always the chance. We can also, incredible chest there. We can earn half of a Spirit Heart by resting like that, I think. It's the kind of thing, you know, I don't expect it to be the make or break, but it could make or break it. You never know. Sometimes you get a golden chest in there, but that's okay. Let's see what the heck we got going on up here. That is not Mom's knife. Okay. We did get the Mom transformation, though, so what am I complaining about? And then, Soul of Jacob and Esau, like, right away here. So we have a 2-heart Jacob, and we're just trying to get him to live as long as possible. That's painful. What if we could give him something else? Do we have anything else? What is this pill? Nobody knows. Okay, they're out of sync again. Remember, it's more important you dodge with the Forgotten. He's like a real character. I don't know what I've done. I've hit control and now they're so out of sync. Lock down. Lock down. Yo, he does have Rotten Baby though. Okay, we gotta swap. The longer he can live with that Rotten Baby, the happier I am in some ways. Just remember who you're dodging with. Oh! He's so good! He's the greatest of all. Okay, well, you know, you gotta admit, though, momentarily, that was frickin' sick, dude. Oh, that, I got pulled back by the freaking Riptide. Okay, just, you know, this is gonna be a bit of a miserable fight, win or lose. But just keep in mind, I've done a lot of, like, very miserable Delirium fights on stream recently. So this is, like, as miserable as a long fight here can be with no damage, takes a lot to make it worse than, you know, a long Delirium fight with nothing going for you. Beyblades, baby. Beyblades. I'm learning something here. What I'm learning is that I am bad at dodging Beyblade. We're gonna get some HP back, right? Is that not the case? We're gonna get some HP back here. We're gonna get a Holy Mantle. We obviously have some protection. We're still generating flies. It's like the game still maybe just temporarily. We had some flies left from Rotten Baby earlier. All right, this is where you really got to start to focus. Just because, I mean, if possible, you'd really rather not have to redo the run. Pull him over. Like, it's all fun in games earlier. Now I'm like, we're trying to sell this. I have no idea where these flies are coming. Oh, you know what? We have the mulligan, right? Didn't we get the mulligan? Yeah, what was I talking about Rotten Baby for? I know we had it on the Jacob and Esau run, or attempt, or you know what I mean. Okay, I'd like to move the skull in front here. There we go. Move the skull. The skull may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. That's what I was looking for. Yep. That's fair. That's completely fair. There you go. There you go. That's dodging. Forgotten is stacked, man. Please. Let's go! Dude, I never realized how good defensively punch tiers can be. Obviously, they got knockback, but they didn't realize, like, on a fight here how much they could save me. Oh my god, okay. Come on. Like, you gotta be getting close. This is a very good, like, display of how not great this run is. Please placenta me while we wait here. Please placenta me while we wait. I still am pessimistic, just for the record. I still... I'll get ready for many attacks we'll feel like we've never really seen before. I think. I still feel like this is a bit of a long shot. Obviously, to an extent, the bets are kind of off. No! If we make it to the main part of... Come on, that's such a ripoff. If we make it to the Cuphead part of the fight, you're probably like, wait, I thought this whole thing was Cuphead. Wait, it's all Cuphead? Always was. But let's worry about that if/when we get there. We're dead in one hit anyway. I'd rather just have dodging be a little easier for now, and then have dodging be a little easier now. Not to mention, now that I think about it, I'm like, I think it actually benefits us. Whenever possible, and it's definitely not always possible. Oh my god. I was gonna say to be the character that has placenta, but we really did try our best there. I can't be too mad. It was a 51-minute run. Close though. Synth oil, maybe next time. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And I'll be live on Twitch today, Monday through Friday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there. See ya.